Hello, friends. This is Donna, and I'd like to welcome you to another amazing episode of You Were Designed for Greatness. This is a podcast of Vibrant Living International, and Vibrant Living's mission is to help people discover how to live vibrantly, which for me means living completely authentic, using and growing in our spiritual intelligence so that we can create a life we love. We can be who we were created to be and experience more joy and purpose and abundance, harmony in our life than we've ever imagined. That is the purpose of today's podcast. And I have an amazing guest with me today. And Judy is going to be sharing with us. Judy, say hello and tell our listeners about you.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Hello, Donna. I am a faith-based transformational empowerment coach for women who are at life-changing crossroads, are looking for the right direction or decision so that they, as Donna said, can find their true spiritual purpose and their God-given purpose to set a new course in life. This was born out of personal experiences and community experiences with people who had just devastating losses of homes and so forth, and just trauma. And it really drew a call in me to help this group of people.
Where do you live?
I live in the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York. There are no skyscrapers here, but there are plenty of beautiful lakes and wineries, and have a very rural setting where I live. So it's a little bitty town, about population of about 800, Cohocton, New York. So.
It is a beautiful area. I used to live near Albany, so I have been to the Finger Lakes, and it is a beautiful, beautiful area. And I think that's one of the things that surprises people when they visit New York, is how massive the state is, for one thing, and also how many beautiful, absolutely beautiful mountains and lakes and ruralness. Everybody thinks skyscraper, and it's just not so at all. So
I'm about a half an hour from one of the country's most beautiful state parks. So it is gorgeous up here.
It is gorgeous. So when you're on this journey now of where you are helping women, being a transformational coach, my guess is you didn't start here. So where did this all begin, your journey of transformation for yourself?
Yes, it seems to have been a lifelong journey. I was born and early on as an infant experienced extremely frequent seizures, epileptic seizures, and not giving away my age, but in the 60s, that was not an acceptable disease in society. My parents were encouraged, because of the frequency and severity of my seizures, not only by friends and well-meaning neighbors, but also the medical environment, to place me in a state institution for epileptics. That was just a hard no for my parents. And they were told, and I was told, that I wouldn't learn, read, write, wouldn't be socially acceptable, and so forth. And that imprinted on me at a very young age. And I internalized feelings of, I don't belong, or I don't, have to earn my way to stay in the group. And the savior was not only God being in my life continually, but my mother was my champion. The woman didn't go past 8th grade, but she sat me down, taught me to read, to write, to memorize things, because I didn't only have epilepsy, I had dyslexia and visual perception issues. So made it all the way through school. It was a struggle, and went to nursing school because I think of the frequency of my hospitalizations, and did well in school and had a nice career. And then I decided to find a place where I could have retirement and benefits that were better. And I started working at a local state prison about 40 years after all of this events of my younger age.
Mhm.
And the day I walked into that job, I was in awe, and sometimes it hits me that I was working at the location of the state epilepsy institution that I would have been placed in. They had converted it into a state prison. And that to me was God driven.
Yes.
And it was a full circle moment. It really empowered me because I was there to work and to serve, prisoners, as of course, but it empowered me to learn as much as I could while I was there. And I ended up achieving my bachelor's degree while I was working there. So the irony is just huge in that moment. That was a huge transformation for me. And seeing others believe in themselves through the work that I did, and then retiring out of nursing after COVID, in late 21, I knew that I wanted to do something that would help this group of people who had lost their houses and their footing was off. And we have a family farmhouse that's vacant. So I was toying with, let's do a ministry, but how am I going to support it? And I literally sat down after morning devotionals and opened up social media, as we do with our cup of coffee. And the first ad that popped up was an ad for health and life coaching. And as I read it, I just thought, yes, this is an answer to prayer. And coaching has helped me transform as well. As I learned as a coach, as I went on for the Master Transformational Coaching, that entire year of transformational coaching, I think transformed me along the way as well, and knowing myself better, knowing how I make decisions and why. So that's kind of my story and my why behind my story.
It is a beautiful story in thinking about all the things that you went through and how they have been turned into good.
Mm-hmm.
Other people is one of the favorite things I have about the transformational process is that understanding that everything can be used for good in the whole process of that. So what are some of the takeaways you would like to share today? If there is someone who is feeling lost, like you felt anywhere along your way in your journey of discovering who you are, isn't one of the biggest things discovering the gifts that are actually there?
Oh, yes, I have a saying that I developed in kind of working through my program, that my liabilities that others saw in me, which were not learning disability, physical issues, and epilepsy, those were social and medical liabilities in me. But as I worked through them, I challenged them and I built resilience through that. They became what I call my life abilities, because those skills and strategies now support me and help me work through that. So even though you may be going through something that is a crisis, a trauma, something that knocked you off your feet and your path was broken that you were on, there is there is restitution, there's restoration.
There's hope.
Yes, absolutely. Because all along the way, as a faith-based person, and I think Donna would agree, is that as believers in Christ, I believe that God walks with us. That God doesn't cause the issues, but He is there with us and won't abandon us. And I think that I feel supports me as well. There's ways to build your resilience. There's ways to find peacefulness in the chaos. And what I'd like folks to take away is that do not ever have someone limit you. You are a work of art that God created you for a specific purpose. And if you allow that deep spirit within you that pulls and draws you towards something to help guide you, you are unstoppable. And you can stand, as I say, stand up whenever someone tells me I can't do something. I cock my head and look at them and say, watch me.
Oh, I have a little bit of that same sass. Yeah, it doesn't work well for someone to not to limit us that way.
Yes,
So
yes.
I am with you
Absolutely.
on all of that in the way that it works out. So when, as far as closing, getting ready to close up, if someone wants to learn more about your resilience program and some of the other things, how would they get in touch with you?
I have a website. It is www. all one word, heartandsoulhlc.com.
Okay.
I also have a Facebook page, JS Heart and Soul Health and Life Coaching, and they can reach, my bios are all there. There's also a JS Heart and Soul Instagram page. So there's multiple ways to reach out. And I'm usually within the day, I'll get back to folks. My most recent life-changing event keeps me a little busy. My husband had a stroke in January, so we're dealing with that too, but using all the tools of resiliency.
How is he doing?
He's doing great. He again, God's prayers were answered. He had a stroke in 3 areas of the brain. He lost his speech. He lost the full function of his right side. He's walking. He's only his right hand, which he's left-handed, was affected physically, and he is speaking in full sentences and
Good.
continuing to heal. So
Good. Awesome. Well, we will put your contact information in the show notes or wherever you're finding this audio or video. And Judy, thank you for showing others that they can overcome some really strong adversities, because where would you be? The potential of where you could be compared to what you're doing today.
Right.
Just that simple decision of your mom teaching you as opposed to institution, that would have changed so much. So there's just so many little things along the way, more than you've shared today. I know.
Absolutely. There's so much more to that story, and parts of it are on my webpage because I do have a blog section, and I've shared some of that. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
Again, keep shining, and thank you for being here today.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for having me, and be blessed.
Well, another amazing episode of You Are Designed for Greatness. Be sure to reach out to Judy if you would like to know more about her ministry, her business, whatever way you want to put it. She is a light that is shining to help people to overcome adversity. And if you would like to chat with me, I'm just a click away. I would be happy to get to know you more and share some of the resources that Vibrant Living has to help you live vibrantly, overcome life adversities as well, and to shine brightly. So thank you all for watching or listening to this podcast. Be sure to leave a review if you haven't. Share it with a friend and download it. It helps us to reach more people. Have a great rest of your day until we get together again. Bye for now.